With that, let's welcome in Senator Ashley Moody. Senator, great to see you as always. Again, you know, if you're living in Florida, you understand the cost of flood insurance is getting quite expensive. Could you explain how this program would help reduce the cost?
Certainly, and this wouldn't be limited to Florida. That's important to note. We've seen just terrible, tragic flooding in Texas. So this would be a nationwide program that we would offer some relief to consumers and taxpayers if they were indeed paying for flood insurance to protect their families and their homes during times of national disaster. And just so your viewers know, you can go to FEMA.gov, or if you're in Florida, FloridaDisaster.org, and you can see if you fall into one of these flood zones where your mortgage or your bank may actually require flood insurance. And we know that Floridians have been hit hard by storms, and we're just wanting to make sure we're helping them be prepared and certainly be able to recover if in fact they're hit by one of these storms.
Yeah, specifically a lot of these coastal communities, you know, I think about obviously, just thinking about Florida in general, I think about Fort Myers specifically that suffered major loss, Cape Coral, you know, Lee County, that whole area out there. Congressman Byron Donald, speaking of that area, is sponsoring the companion bill in the House. And he wrote on X, he said this, quote, "The rising cost of flood insurance is crushing hardworking Floridians. This is unacceptable. This must change, and this critical issue must be addressed to ensure our economy works for all Americans, end quote." Yeah, and Senator, that's the big point, right? So you want to have you want to be able to buy a nice home, you want to be able to live near the water, especially those in Florida. But when it costs you so much because you live in the X zone or these high flood zones, it's almost impossible. And even some have trouble getting the insurance companies to renew. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, and I want to make sure that Americans understand it's not just if you live on the coast, right? Florida's unique in the sense that we're a peninsula and we are really surrounded by water. So you're living close to water no matter where you are in the state. But there are a lot of areas in this country that are in flood zones. And that's why it's so important that Americans find out where their property is, if in fact what the risk is for flooding. And as you know, flood insurance is often required. And so it's something that if you don't want to uproot your family and move out of your community, you've got to seek this out. And so we want to make sure that we're allowing for Americans to be able to afford this type of protection. And so that's the purpose of this bill. I thank Senator Scott and Representative Donalds for pushing this with us. And we're very concerned and interested in making sure that Floridians can receive this much needed insurance.
Yeah, you know, as spokesperson for the Insurance Information Institute says this, only about 6% of U.S. households have a flood policy. That rates remain steady in recent years despite the increasing frequency of severe flooding events. So no doubt this is a problem. Folks need access to flood insurance. But I'm wondering, as a senator from Florida here, have you reached out to some of these major insurance companies and sort of been able to communicate the frustration that so many homeowners do feel? Are they listening here to these concerns? Are they trying to make it easier?
Well, certainly I know that throughout the state of Florida, both local and state leaders are addressing this issue head on. And not only are they working directly with insurance companies, and certainly we're having those dialogues, I'm also listening to constituents and Floridians and what they're seeing and what they're experiencing. One of the most frustrating things is that they keep seeing those rates going up and up and up when we've put these measures in place to try and stem those increases in rates. And I think a lot of the policy that's been done has been aimed towards trying to make sure that they're getting a handle on superfluous litigation and other things that may be affecting those rates. So we're hopeful, and certainly Florida leaders are saying that that's going to help this problem, and we're going to keep working until we can deliver for Floridians.
I know a lot of homeowners out there are hoping that maybe you can get something done. You and Senator Rick Scott, former governor of Florida there, because as you mentioned, this applies to so many other states as well, and homeowners alike. Florida Senator Ashley Moody joining us. Thank you, Senator. We appreciate it.
Great to be with you.
You as well.